welcome and share the broadcast as you join. Share to your platform, share to family and friends, share to anyone that is connected to you. Welcome. Share the broadcast on your platform. Like and share. Share on your platform. Share to family and friends. Share to anybody that is close to you. Please keep on sharing so that we can reach out to as many people as possible. Happy seat at home, happy seat at home, happy seat at home. Happy seat at home, happy seat at home, happy seat at home. You're welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Please share the broadcast on your platform. Share to family and friends. Share to those who are connected to you. Amuzie Simon, thank you so much, Amuzie. Good morning from here. Over here it's evening.
Promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist. You opened your mouth to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isobo. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy. Because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all this we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He said,
Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on this very program today. I appreciate you and I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greeting according to your time zone. Wherever you are joining this very platform from, I appreciate you. If you are joining from Biafra land, my special thanks go to you, and I pray that Chukwu Okukaba will guide and protect you, secure you, and give you grace to see the end of it all and witness Biafra. Wherever part of the world you are joining us from, if you are joining from any part of Africa, you are joining any part of the zoo, you are joining from Asia, from Europe, from America, from Australia, from Canada, from New Zealand. If you are joining from Russia, you are joining from China, I appreciate you and I welcome you to this very program. I say you're welcome. Today is the second day of the sit at home that we have all agreed. And for the sake of those who are joining us for the very first time, this very platform is a platform autopiloted by Chukwu Okukabiyama himself under the Biafra Republic Government in Exile with the guidance of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on the supreme leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is where we stand. That is where we stand. And what we do here is to encourage Biafrans. What we do here is to bring the plight of the Biafran to the world. What we do here is to bring the situation of the Zoological Republic before the whole world. We say the truth and nothing but the truth. We don't try to be politically correct here. We say it exactly the way it is. That is what you get. In this very platform, we do not preach violence. We don't preach hate. We do not instigate violence in any way. We do not preach hate. Neither do we attack people. What we do here is to set the record straight and make people realize their own right, more especially the Biafran people. We call on Biafran people to hold on to their right for self-determination and their right for self-defense. That is what we do on this very platform. We do not come here to attack people unnecessarily or to create chaos anywhere. That is not our aim here. Our aim here is to encourage every Biafran to be focused, be steadfast, and continue to pursue your human rights. That's right, that divine right that Chukwu Okukabiyama has given you even before it was instituted. The right to self-determination, the right to freedom, the right to defend yourself at all times. We come here to remind you of that right, that you must not give it up for anybody. Today is the second day of the historic sit at home, which the Biafran people on their own have chosen without being forced. They have chosen that very historical sit at home to start the journey into their freedom, to demand for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and to make preparation for our oncoming referendum, self-referendum that is coming very soon. And to also make the world know that we are not part of the Zoological Republic and we are not pleased with the dehumanization of the Biafran people, the genocide being committed against Biafran people, the attack against Biafran people. We can no longer tolerate that. We can no longer afford to be an endangered species in our own homes, in a country where they called one Nigeria, in a country where they are forcing us to be part of, even when they don't want us. Through their actions, through their deeds, they do not want us to be part of it. That is why we are sitting at home. A decision that the Biafran people have made by their own self. Nobody forced us. We were not forced. We were not cajoled. Nobody is enforcing it anywhere. You have seen yesterday, the only people today that are enforcing their own law is the Zoological Republic. The only people that are carrying out enforcement that was seen yesterday before the whole world, which I also streamed, is that contraption, the government of the zoo. They have rolled out all manner of armored cars on the street. In the street where human beings are living, where people are supposed to be living peacefully, they roll down their armored car with all manner of terrorists in uniform, walking along the street, threatening and frightening people, children, mothers. This is what we have continued to see even before now. the contraption called Nigeria have militarized Biafra land unnecessarily. They have militarized Biafra land unnecessarily, even before now. The part of the Zoological Republic where terrorism is taking over, they are not doing anything. You're welcome, my beloved sister Diana Agumbiade. Thank you so much for joining. We have seen that in the northern part of Nigeria, where the terrorists have taken position, where they have occupied, where they have committed a whole lot of havoc and continue to commit. In the northern part of Nigeria, where as we speak, people are still under the captivity of the Boko Haram members. They capture people, they stream it, and they ask for ransom. Even as you're watching me, there are still people in the hand of Boko Haram that have not been released. They are taking more states, but the federal government is not focusing on that area. The three most deadliest terrorist groups in the world are all situated in the northern part of Nigeria. This is a fact. This is a fact that everybody knows, even if you're not a Nigerian. Even if you're not a Nigerian, they all know this fact. That in the northern part of Nigeria, you have the fourth most dangerous terrorist group you have. 4 different kinds of terrorist group. They are all there in the northern part of Nigeria. And they are committing havoc on daily basis. We can see their footprint. We can see their attack. But yet, the northern part of Nigeria is not militarized the way the southeast is militarized. The northern part of Nigeria is not being attacked the way Biafra is being attacked. It is because the agenda is only to capture Biafra land and to subject us to slavery. The only reason why you still have some people who can preach and pray freely is because of Biafra. They know that as long as Biafra continues to exist, they can never take over the land. That is why in their project of Islamization, in their project of colonization, they have focused on Biafra land. And you ask me, when you see the militarization in Biafra land, don't you ask yourself, what crime has Biafran people committed? What is that is happening in Biafra land that is not happening in the north? That will make Biafra land to be so militarized? You don't ask that question. The only crime Biafran people have committed is that they are asking for their legitimate right, which is self-determination. A right that is supported by international law. A right that is supported by African law. A right that is supported by Nigerian law itself. And yet, they are pursuing us and taking our life because of this right that we are demanding. But in the northern part of Nigeria, where the terrorists have taken position, where the terrorists have taken life, where the terrorists continue to commit havoc every day, as I'm speaking to you, people are losing their life in thousands in the northern part of Nigeria. In the middle belt, the same thing. People have cried and cried and cried until they lost tears. Now we no longer have Governor Ito. When Governor Ito was there, he was one who was outspoken, and whenever there is havoc in Benue State, he will speak out and let the world know what is going on. But today, they have succeeded in planting their own stew in Benue State. They have succeeded in planting their own stew in Benue State that you cannot even be able to ascertain the situation of the Benue people today. Information are not longer flowing from Benue State the way it has been flowing. Benue people are losing people on daily basis. Attack on Benue is going on even as we speak. Are you talking about Kaduna? Southern Kaduna has been decimated. Southern Kaduna have been made a burial ground. In the case of Southern Kaduna, they take out the people, they destroy the village, they take the life of the people, and they replace them with the Fulanese. It has continued to happen, and yet nobody sees anything wrong in it. Nobody sees anything wrong in it. They continue to push this evil agenda. In Adamawa State, every minute of the day, people are losing their life in Adamawa State. And what you have to have at the back of your mind, the people that are losing their life are the indigenous people of that contraption called Nigeria. The people that are affected in all parts of the north, when you hear that they take the life of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 100, 1,000, the lives that are being taken are the life of the indigenous people. The indigenous people in that area. Who are those perpetrating this evil? It is the Fulanese. The Fulanese, the terrorists. Who Fulanese are providing the grand soldiers? Al Qaeda is there in the north. Boko Haram is there in the north. ISIS is there in the north. Name it. The Fulani herdsmen are there on their own, taking innocent life on daily basis, and yet the federal government of Nigeria is not focusing on that. But when you come to Biafra land, where you have the most peaceful area you have in that contraption, the government of Nigeria has gone into that place to make it insecure. They went there and they planted their unknown gunmen to create insecurity in Biafra land. Because the people were asking for their independence, they are asking for self-determination. They started by creating their unknown gunmen. When we say sit at home, they go and enforce it. When we say sit at home, they claim they just want to blackmail the sit at home by bringing their unknown gunmen to go and enforce it. And later they will come and blame Biafrans that it was Biafrans that are enforcing the sit at home. Many of us have lost our life. Many Biafrans have lost their life in the course of this very so-called enforcement. It has been revealed several times, captured on video, including their own media. Their own media have captured them. We are policemen, we are enforcing it at home. This has been happening now and every and again, and nobody seems to see it. You're welcome, my beloved sister Linda TV show. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. This has continued to happen. And I tell you, it will not stop. It will not stop until we begin to do the right thing. Because of all this kind of troubles, the challenges we have had, because we have seen that nobody stands for us, nobody sings for us, the Biafran people rose up on their own. The Biafrans rose up and they have decided to take their fate in their hand. And in taking their fate in their hand, they did not go in a violent way. The Biafrans did not go in a violent way. We chose to protest in a very peaceful manner and to save our life. You remember initially when we come out to protest, they open fire. When we come out together to pray, they open fire. They don't want to see us together. Then the Biafra people decided that they are going to sit at home. They are going to sit at home to call the attention of the world of what is happening in Biafra land. They are going to sit at home for the world to know that they are done with the Zuluka Republic. They are going to sit at home to collectively demand the unconditional release of our supreme leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. When we started the sit at home, it was very successful. We went for 1 week, it was successful. And they unleashed all manner of propaganda against us. They begin to push propaganda from right, left, and center. They called us all kinds of names. They blackmailed us in different kind of ways. They bought even people who were supposed to be standing with us. They bought them over. The last straw that they threw was going to buy the lawyers of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the special counsel of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. He was bought over. Either he was pressured or bought over, whatever. But he began to speak in a different tongue. Every one of us that is a genuine Biafran know that our Supreme Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is in the territory of the enemy. And it is our responsibility to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, because if he was in our position, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu would do everything possible to get us freed. Why is it that now that they are holding Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, why is it that we cannot go extra mile to set him free? Why is it too much to ask? When you say sit at home to demand for the freedom of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they say too much. Why is it that at this time that it is our duty to rescue Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, we are still expecting Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to give us order on what to do? Does it mean that in the past more than a decade that we have been sitting down hearing from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, we didn't learn anything? That is what it means. But I thank you, that so many of us learned a lot. So many of us learned a lot, and everything we learned from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, we are implementing today to release him. And we will continue to implement until Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is released. It doesn't matter what anybody has to say. It doesn't matter the blackmail they will bring. Let them go and bring a video, not just a letter. Not just a letter. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that we know has nothing to do with politics. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that we know, we never speak with the politicians or be on the same tone with politicians. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that we all know, has nothing to do with Nigerian politicians and evil. Anything called criminality is never found around Mazen Nandekano. But we wake up to see his special counsel parading a letter say that Mazen Nandekano told us to call off election and listen to the governors. Arrant nonsense. That is the height of betrayal. That is the height of betrayal. What amount of pressure is put on you? What is that they throw at you that you cannot be able to withstand? What is that? But anyway, since you have given up your own position, there's no problem. We, the Biafran people, have taken upon ourselves that Mazen Nandekano will be freed. And we are embarking on these 2 weeks at home. Yesterday was a great success. The beginning of the sit at home, which was yesterday, was a great success. And I bet you, today is going to be another success. Even in the challenge, there is going to be challenges. There is going to be several challenges. They will come with new different dimensions of blackmail and attack. I tell you, they will never stop. The enemy will never stop fighting. They will never stop looking for a means to infiltrate us, a means to blackmail us. They will continue to look for a way. And even today, it is going to be worse. But I urge you, any place you are watching me from, more especially people in different land, don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. Our concern is your life. Our concern is your health. Do not try to put yourself in harm's way. No Biafran should put himself in harm's way. They are going to come heavily. They have seen the success we made yesterday, and they know that Biafrans are ready to go. They are going to come against us heavily from different angles, from different corners. But as long as you know what you are fighting for, what you stand for, do not give in. Do not give in. Continue to stand your ground and demand for your freedom. It is your right to be free. Self-determination is your right. It is not a crime. Do not allow anybody to make you look as if you are committing any crime. You are not. You are not. We have seen what is happening. We have seen the information that is coming right left and center. And today they are crying. Some of the governors saying that they cannot afford the 2 weeks sit at home. If you cannot afford the 2 weeks sit at home, go and release Mazen Nandekano. As simple as that. If you cannot afford the 2 weeks at home, the only thing you can do before you start talking to Biafran is to release Mazen Nandekano. If you don't release Mazen Nandekano, our Prime Minister have already drawn another step we're going to take. That all the civil servants will sit at home for 3 good weeks. Don't bother how it's going to happen. We are dealing with the game changer. Our Prime Minister is the master of the game. You haven't seen it yet, and you are crying. You saw only 1 week, you are crying. Now we are in 2 weeks. Wait until the end of the 2 weeks, and you don't release Mazen Nandekano. Then and only then you begin to understand the language. It doesn't matter the blackmail you bring. It doesn't matter the attack you bring. You cannot succeed. You cannot succeed. The Biafrans know what we want. We know what we deserve, and we know what we want. And we will continue to pursue that which is ours. We are not committing any offense. Neither are we looking for anybody's property or anybody's life. We are not trying to take away anybody's land. We are not trying to engage in any kind of illegality. Everything we are doing today are legal. The only people today that are doing in illegality is the Zoological Republic himself. The Zoological Republic itself is the one today that is dwelling and diving into criminality on a daily basis. They have violated international laws and treaties, and they care not. And I'm not surprised that they violate those laws, because the people that put in the law do not care. As long as whatever they violate doesn't affect them directly, they don't care. It is about interest. They are all focused on protecting their interests in the Zoological Republic. But I tell you, in this wave of liberation that is happening in West Africa, Biafra is going to be liberated. Biafra will definitely be. It doesn't matter whether you agree or you don't agree. It doesn't matter whether what you think about it. Biafra will be freed. Biafra is going to be free. And we already started the process. Yesterday was the beginning. Today is the second day. And we are going to take it day by day, week by week, month by month. And we will liberate Biafra completely. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you do. Prepare yourself for more blackmail. We are ready. We are ready to face everything you will throw at us. And I don't think there's something you will do today you have not been doing before. Whatever you are throwing today these are things we know already. The template we know already you play. We the Biafrans, we have been paying attention to this very Zuleka for donkey years. And there is nothing you will do today that will surprise us because we know where you are coming from. But I bet you, in this era, we are going to speak in the language that you will understand clearly. We are going to speak in the language that you will understand. We have waited for too long for this time to come. We have had patience. We have begged. We have protested. We have written letters with evidences to different places. We have shed tears. We have cried. And nobody seems to be paying attention. But in this era, we have taken our faith in our hand. It is no longer time to complain or cry. It is time to take action. And that action is what the whole Biafrans are taking. Whatever we are doing today, we are united in it. For those idiots who will come and begin to talk trash, it is their right. Let them continue. But I bet you, if you are a Biafran and you're not willing to be free, do not dare to stand in the way of Biafran. If you are a Biafran and you don't want to be free, it is your right. If you choose slavery for yourself, so be it. We can't stop you. Whatever you have chosen for yourself, you want to be part of the Zuleka Republic, go ahead. I have said it time and time again that it is not everybody that will be on board to fight for Biafra. Mazen Nandekano saw that and he went ahead to pray that Chukwu Okikebian should send those who are born from their mother's womb to carry this mission. And I bet you today, those people who were born for this mission, they are here. They are here and they are ready to work. They are not looking back. They are not turning back. They are ready to work until Biafra becomes a reality. If you know you are not part of the chosen ones, if you know you cannot stand the heat, if you know you are not part of those who has been called for this mission, please, wherever you feel your faith lies, follow it. But do not stand in our way. Do not stand in our way. If you stand on our way, you will be crushed. You will be crushed in such a way that you cannot reincarnate anymore. You will be crushed in such a way that you will never reincarnate. More especially those ones who are Igbo Biafrans. If you are an Igbo Biafran and you are standing against the Biafra restoration, if you are an Igbo Biafran and you are standing against Biafra restoration, you will never ever go free. You will never ever go scot-free and you will not be forgiven. You will not be forgiven. Because at this present time, in 2023, there is no Igbo person living. There's no Igbo person living that will say he doesn't know the situation of the Biafran people. That he will say that he doesn't know the truth. The only reason why you will not support your people and support the movement is because you are benefiting from the evil entity called Nigeria. It is because you are fraudulent, you are wicked, you are self-centered, you are I don't know how to describe you. You are everything that evil is made of. That is the only reason why you cannot stand with your people and pursue the freedom of 70 million people and be free. Nigeria is not meant to be a country. It is not a new thing. It's not meant to be a country. And when we say it, you don't just listen and sit down. Go back and make research on how this contraction called Nigeria was formed. Go back on your own. Because when we tell these stories, it will be as if we are telling stories. When we talk about it, go and make inquiries by your own self and see how was Nigeria formed. And you begin to understand that Nigeria is not supposed to live the next day. And even with all the evil put together to force people together, an expiring date was placed in for that very contraption. An expiring date was, and that date of expiring have come or gone already. Nigeria have expired. That company, the British company called Nigeria, has expired. If people in that zoo are mentally sound. If people in that zoo have conscience, they should know that the only thing that they should be doing today is to renegotiate. Let people decide if they will be part of that zoo or not. That is why when you see Biafrans calling for referendum, it is on point. There is no way you can judge Biafrans for asking for self-determination. It is their right, and it is at the right time. The call for self-determination today is mature, legitimate, and right. And the international community knows about that. That is why our Prime Minister have written to EU and tell them about the expiration of the amalgamation. It has expired. The evil amalgamation done by British has expired. The United Nations know about it, and they keep quiet. Our Prime Minister have written once again to remind the European Union about it. Our demand for self-determination is due. We are making that demand at the right time. That is why I tell you, do not allow anybody make you feel as if you are committing a crime. This emotional blackmail they throw at you, don't let it get at you. Don't let it get at you. The common language they will use is that, why are you punishing people you claim to be saving? That is the common language we hear from this clown, this idiot, these wicked souls. The very common language you hear from them. They will say, how can you be punishing the people you claim to save? And when they say it, you think they care about you. They don't care about you. They will say, how are you making the people that you want to save, you are suffering them? How are you killing the people you want to save? How are you impoverishing the area? Why are you bringing war into your home? These are the useless arguments that they bring. As if these people are not meant, as if they are not living on that planet Earth. Where have you seen people go for their freedom and they don't pay a price? Where? Where have you seen people go for freedom and didn't pay a price? If you are not ready to be free, then don't talk about price. But if you are ready to free, you must have a price to pay. As something as when you take your boy, you know about this master, a slave and a master. That's what is even on the highest. When you talk about when you take someone to serve you in your business, for the person to be settled and be freed, that person must serve you for a certain number of years. A certain number of years. In that certain number of years, he will be denied a lot of things. He will deny a lot of rights, and he doesn't care. That person will be mellowed down and have patience until make that sacrifice until the year that he agreed on will reach. Then he will have his freedom and begin to live a better life, open his own business, and do whatever he wants to do. In the same vein, during the time of slavery, for you to set free a slave, for a slave to be set free, that slave has to pay a price. That slave has to pay a price. If it is somebody that want to take away a slave from slave master, you have to pay a price. If it is a slave that want to regain his freedom, he has to pay a heavy price to the master. There has never been a time where freedom is gotten in a platter of gold. There has never been a time in history where freedom was dashed out. In everything on planet Earth, you must have a commitment to it. There is a price to pay for everything. And if the price for the freedom of Biafran people becomes sit at home, is it too much? Is it too much to pay? If the price to pay for you to be free for the rest of your life, for your unborn generation to be free, if it is to sit at home for 1 year, is it too much? Is it too much? The only reason why you are complaining is because of your selfish interest. It is because of your wickedness. I cannot say it is out of ignorance. None of them that is pushing this blackmail is ignorant of what they are doing. They know what they are doing. When they come with that blackmail and tell you, oh, you are suffering people who are punishing, it is the Southeast they are punishing. They know what they are saying. They know if they are intentionally bringing that argument to demoralize you. It is not as if they don't know what they do. They know exactly what they are doing. When they come, they tell you, oh, you are destroying the economy of the Southeast. You are now punishing your people. It is your people that are suffering. You are destroying the economy of the Southeast. We don't want you. How can you say you are helping the people and you are destroying the economy? This blackmail, they know what they are talking about. Because these same people that are pushing this nonsense, they know very well that there is nothing called economy in Biafra land. There is nothing called growth of economy in Biafra land. The economy you can talk about in Biafra land are the ones that they grow by themselves individually. The economy in the southeast you are talking about is individual effort that they did by themselves to grow themselves, and they are the ones controlling it and running it on their own terms. When you talk about the economy and involve the government, ask these people, what contribution have the government of Nigeria made to improve life in Biafra land? Can anybody tell me one step that the government have made, taken, either the state government or the federal government, to improve the economy of the southeast? If you know any step that the government have taken, please write it on the comment section. If you know any step, any genuine step that the federal government or the state government have taken to make sure that they alleviate the life in Biafra land economically, please write it on the comment section and let me see. If you know of any, write it. Some of us who are watching here, we're up to 50 years. Most of us here up to 30 years. Since you were born, have you seen any economic plan that the federal government or state government have put in place in Biafra land to improve the life of the people? Have you seen any? And now let me narrow it down. The most common way to improve the economy of an area, the most common way to improve economy is to give them a better road, to give them light, to give them a better road, and to give them light. These are the two major things, two primary things. These are the simplest the government can do: road and light. In Biafra land today, do you have road? Do you have road in Biafra land? Do you have road in Biafra land? What about light? Do you have light in Biafra land? If they cannot provide these two common things, these two basic needs, at least two basic needs that you need to start with, how dare you talk about economy of the southeast? And we know that the southeast are business people that move from east to west. They are always in the move. The southeast, the people are business inclined and they don't sit in the place. They're always traveling, moving in and out, shifting and moving goods. And in that same contraption, a rail line was built with borrowed money. A rail line was built with borrowed money, which southeast will be part of it to pay. But they made that rail, constructed rail. The rail did not pass through the southeast. These are the people who are telling you that we are destroying the economy of the southeast. The governors were there when this money were borrowed. The senators were there when this money was borrowed. They were all there when the plan was made. They did not protest. They never protested. They never react. They kept silent. Money was borrowed. Money that everybody is part of it to pay. And they use that money to construct road. And the people that can be able to pay, people who can afford to pay for this road, pay for this very, oh my God. You see, when you begin to think about this zoo, sometimes when I think about the zoo, I begin to think, how can somebody who is mentally sound wake up in the morning and begin to support one Nigeria? A Biafran for that matter. How can a Biafran wake up and you are supporting one Nigeria? A country where the people that can be able to afford to pay for these amenities, for these services, the people that can pay for the services, no matter the cost, they are the ones using it. You constructed railway, you did not pass to the right road. You didn't take it that side. These governors were there. These senators were there. And the federal government of Nigeria went to Kaduna and built a dry port. They went to Kaduna and built a dry port. How many businessmen are in Kaduna State, the Northerners? How many of them? How many people from the north are making importation? The people who are even importing the north are still Biafran people. But the people who are a business inclined, who are the pillars of the business, you ignore their area. Even in Biafra land, we have different areas we can be able to get to the sea. The closest access to the sea is in Biafra land, yet we don't have a single port. Excuse me. The people that use the seaport, the people that use the seaport more are the Biafra people. Go to the Tinkan today. Go to Tinkan. You check the goods that are there. 80% of the goods in Tinkan are owned by people from the southeast. 80%. You see every day they begin to complain that the wharf is filled up. The Lagos seaport, you cannot open contain. There's congestion. After speaking of congestion, they know that there is another seaport in Biafra land where we can be able to have access to take our goods. There are a lot of seaports that have been abandoned in Biafra land, but they will never ever talk about it. These are the people who want to build your economy. These are the people who want your economy to grow, who want the place to strive, who want your area to succeed. Even in airport, you don't have a viable international airport in Biafra land. Even when 90% of people that operate that very international airport that use the flight are Biafrans. These are people who can pay for the service regardless the cost. Even in most cases, they make our own things very, very expensive. When they tell you that they have international airport in Enugu or Port Harcourt, you still have to transit from Abuja or Kaduna or Lagos before you can get to the southeast. And they will make the cost very, very expensive. They will make it so expensive for you to land in Biafra land. They will make it expensive, thereby forcing you to land either Lagos or Abuja before you can now proceed to your home. And these are the people who are telling you that they want to grow your economy. Today, even while they have seen that the Biafrans are surviving in all those difficult situations they are surviving, what they did lastly is to bring insecurity to Biafra land. Their last move and attack is to bring insecurity to Biafra land. They employ the terrorists after bringing the terrorists into the military, claiming to be repentant of Boko Haram. They gave them uniform and they pushed them down to Biafra land to fight people who are demanding for their rights, asking for self-determination. The only crime we have committed is that we are demanding for that which is ours. That is the crime we have committed. The crime we have committed is that we say that we cannot continue to watch our mothers, our sisters being raped. We cannot watch our farmers being beheaded. We cannot watch our children, our uncles being slaughtered and their meat shared in the forest. And we say, no, enough is enough. Enough is enough. We cannot continue to be an endangered species in a nation where we're supposed to be part of. We saw all this, their criminality, and we say we can no longer be part of it, that we want to go home. And they wouldn't have it. They wouldn't let us go. And they woke up and they rose with anger. They don't want to hear that a Biafran want to be free. They do not want to hear that a Biafran man want to have peace. We are not asking for anybody's land. The land we are asking for is our own land, given to us by Chukwu Kabiam. Since we are not needed anywhere in the zoo, with all the effort that we have made several efforts to improve that country. Yet, we are the most hated, more especially the Igbo Biafrans. Go and check everywhere today that the name of Nigeria is being raised up. Everywhere today that Nigeria is making exploit, it is Biafrans. It is Biafrans. If it is not Biafrans, it will be people from the south. People from the south. Go to sports. Wherever you see sports today making waves, they tell Nigeria is good at sports. It is people from Biafra land. If it is not all Biafrans, it will be people from the southern part of Nigeria. Go out, when they tell you that you go to the United States, you have doctors. They will tell you that 80% of doctors there are a lot of doctors in Africa. They are all Biafrans. In other part of the world, wherever you see people who are doing exploit, and I tell you that these people are Nigerians, they are from the southern part of Nigeria. It is either Biafra or you see them Ududua. It's either Biafra or Ududua people. But yet, these people that have the intelligence, these people that have the brain, these people that have a lot to offer are not being allowed to explore in their own home. They are not being allowed to perform in their own home. They are not being allowed to perform. They are being dehumanized. They are called names. They are called all manner of things. They are being looked down upon. And you want us to fold our hand and accept this dehumanization. We will not accept it. Not in this generation. My own generation is going to end this impunity. We are going to fight with everything that we have to make sure that we have our own nation. Because it is clear that the only place where we can survive and have respect is in our own nation. As long as we remain the part of the zoo, the dehumanization will continue. The intimidation will continue. The killing will continue. The loss of life will continue. The insecurity will continue. The poverty will continue. There is no two ways about it. There's no amount of prayer that will save you from this. No amount of prayer will save you from the calamity that is coming. The only thing that can save you is to walk away from the zoo. To walk away, that is the only option left for us. And that is the option we are taking. We cannot continue to be part of this criminality. And we have seen that in moving out, you cannot beg for your freedom. You don't beg. You don't beg. I want every Biafran to get this in their head. You don't beg. You fight. You fight for your freedom. That is what you hear. Anytime you see people going for freedom, they say, fight for your freedom. Fight for your freedom. And in the process of fighting for your freedom, it involves a lot of things. People injure during a fight. People lose their life during a fight. People encounter so many things. People win in a fight. What we are seeing today is a fight that we must win. A fight that we must win. And I thank Chukwu Okike that he has given us somebody who knows what he wants. Somebody who is very consistent. Somebody who is focused. Somebody who cannot be bought over. Somebody who can read between the lines. That is why you see the zoo today is on fire. They are crying right, left, and center. They are complaining and crying, shouting. They have ignored of everyone, but this time they can't ignore. Go to their conventional media. It has become the talk of the day. It has become the talk of the day. Every media house you open in Nigeria, you will see Simon Ekpa. What has Simon Ekpa done? Simon Ekpa is only demanding for the legitimate right of the Biafran people. Simon Ekpa has just become the voice of the Biafran people. The people who have taken away their voice. The people who you want to cage. You went to Kenya and kidnapped Mazen Nandekan, tortured him for 8 days, brought him into Nigeria through extraordinary rendition, and continue to hold him, even when the court says you should let him go. The only mission you have is to make sure that you kill Biafra. You want to stop Biafra by all means possible, and you are pushing on your propaganda and blackmail. And it's so painful and annoying that some people who call themselves Biafrans are falling in. They are joining this very bad wagon. They are joining the enemies to fight against their own freedom. But I thank Chukwu Okike that he has given us somebody who has mental toughness, Master Simon Ekpa. They have pursued him for more than 2 years now. Attack has been coming against him. It has been one blackmail or the other, one propaganda or the other, against one single man. And you ask me, what has this man done? What wrong has he done? Nothing. Only asking for his own, for freedom of his own people. They call him one man of name. There is no kind of name they have not called Master Simon Ekpa. But I tell you, just like our Supreme Master Nandekan have said, Mazen Nandekano said, when they call you a terrorist, rejoice. It's a badge of honor. And when you are fighting for your freedom genuinely, Mazen Nandekano made it clear. If you are fighting for your freedom genuinely and you're not called a terrorist, look yourself once again. If you are a genuine freedom fighter in this present time and you're not called a terrorist, check yourself again. I don't think you're getting this right. Check yourself. This is a badge of honor that you must have on yourself for you to succeed as a freedom fighter. People who were there before us, they were given these names. Nelson Mandela, that the whole world celebrates today. Nelson Mandela was called a terrorist. His name was just removed a few years ago. His name remained in the list as a terrorist until his death. It was just a few years ago that the US removed his name from terrorism as one of the terrorists. Mandela that you celebrate, he was called a terrorist. And just a few years ago, his name was removed from the terrorist list. Gandhi was called a terrorist because he was trying to save his people. Martin Luther King was called a terrorist because he was trying to save his people. Malcolm X was called a terrorist. These are people you celebrate today. These are people you celebrate today as heroes. They were once called a terrorist at one point in time because they were asking for the freedom of their people. So when you see them calling you a terrorist, do not shake. You should be happy that you have received your own badge of honor. You should be very, very happy that you have finally received your badge of honor, and you should know that yes, you are doing what you're supposed to do. But whenever you see your enemy fold his hand, clap at you, begin to speak the language with you, know that already you have sold your conscience. Just like the Department of Saboteur is doing today. When you see them when they come online, people that claim to be fighting for their freedom today, they join the enemy to fight against a freedom fighter. People who claim to be freedom fighters, they join the enemy, they join the oppressor. They speak the same language with the oppressor. It is so sad. I saw one of the write-up that one of the idiots wrote. The funny thing that these days, they don't even hide anymore. They can't even hide their shame. I saw one of those clowns wrote in their write-up. They say that they don't want Mazen Nanga to be released because of sit at home. They don't want Mazen Nanga to release because of pressure. That they want Mazen Nanga to be released with through political means. That they want Mazen Nanga to be released through political means. They don't want Mazen Nanga to release through pressure. They don't want to release because sit at home. These are mad people. You want Mazen Nanga to be released through political means, right? So that they will give him a condition to drop Biafra. Or do you let Mazen Nanga accept a post or position in the government, or what do you want? Can you spell out what political means do you want them to use to release Mazen Nanga? What do you mean when you say you want Mazen Nanga to be released through a political means, that you don't want him to be released through the pressure of the Biafran people? You don't want him to release because Biafran people are sitting at home. You don't want him to release because Biafran people are making demand for his unconditional release, that you want him to release politically. What do you mean when you say that? Mad people everywhere. You see, Chukwu Okebe will continue to throw them out from their corners. How can somebody, a freedom fighter, somebody who claims to be a Biafran, how can you open your mouth? You are looking for your freedom and you say that you don't want our Supreme Mazen Nanga to be released because of the pressure we are putting on them. Today, you are advocating that Mazen Nanga should be held captive, even when you know that political solution has never been a solution to Biafran issue. From and before 1967, political solution has never, ever been a solution. It has never brought a solution to the plight of the Biafran people. The only thing that it brings is death. Every time they go for political solution, the only thing you see that comes is death. And yet, somebody who is mentally sound, who claims to be mentally sound, will come out and say that he doesn't want Mazen Nanga to be released through pressure of the Biafran people, that he wants him to release through political means. Are you okay? Are you okay? What political means? From the onset, since before 1967 war, a political means have been pursued to make sure there was no civil war from the first place. Did it work? Our eternal leader, if you didn't see him, we saw the video where he was saying that he gave them a plain sheet that if there is anybody who knows a political solution to the problem of 1967 so that war will not take place, our eternal leader Dim Odumogojuku gave them that plain sheet. As he said it, the video is still out there. I wish I can play the video so that I can play it with you, but I don't have the video with me. I have played that video several times where our eternal leader was saying that he has given them every option, every political option. He gave them every political option for anybody who has political solution to the problem of the zoo to make sure there is no civil war. No. He dragged them to Aburi. They went to Aburi in Ghana to discuss. They reached agreement. A political solution was reached. A political solution was reached in Ghana, in Aburi. What happened? Did they abide to it? After the political solution was reached in Aburi, Gowon came back to Nigeria and the British told him, do not go into that political solution. But by the way, when you talk about political solution, you are just deepening yourself into captivity, into slavery. Because the politics you are talking about in Nigeria is the same politics that Britain themselves instituted. The same politics that Britain is empowering. The same politics that made them to cage you and put you into captivity. That is the same thing you want to free. Are you mad? The same politics that made the North believe that they have the population, they have the greatest population, they have the land mass, they have everything, and you must be under them. The same politics that made it impossible for you to change anything in Nigeria constitution. That is the political solution you want to use to free your leader, who is pursuing the self-determination of his own people. You see how insane they are. These are the people who don't want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out. These are the people whose only plan is to see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dies in prison. These are the people who have made up their mind to pursue every means to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu doesn't get his freedom. It is so sad. I saw that write-up. The person that wrote this is somebody who claimed to be an agitator. One of the popular idiots. I don't like mentioning their names because my platform, they don't deserve their name to sound on this very platform. I have said it time and time. I don't mention their names. I saw the write-up. An idiot is saying that they don't want Mazi. And let me tell you, what he's speaking is the mind of the Janjaweed. What he's speaking is the mind of those Department of Saboteurs. The Department of Saboteurs, because that man, the person where I saw this very write-up, it is one of their press release. One of their online, what do I call it? Do I call it online broadcaster? One of their online writer. The online writer of the Department of Saboteurs came and wrote online. He wrote and said that they do not want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be released because of the sit at home. They do not want Mazi Nnamdi to be released out of pressure. That they want Mazi Nnamdi to be released through a political means. And ask me, how can a normal person be talking about political solution in the case of Biafra? A solution that has been pursued time and time again and it never worked. Even our supreme leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went for political solution. Did it work? When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told the governors to go and pursue the restructuring and get the restructuring, that he's waiting for them, and they went and brought Python dance. What was that? What was that? Didn't you know that the civil war, the genocide against Biafra, was their own political solution? That was a political solution. Don't you know that the Python dance is a political solution? You don't know, and you claim to be a Biafran. You claim to be sane. The civil war was a political solution. That is how their own political solution works. Python dance was a political solution to them. You see the invasion of Biafra that is happening today. What Hobo Zadoma is doing today is political solution of Nigeria. And you see the NSAS, the killing of the NSAS, the killing of innocent people in NSAS is political solution. So any sane person, there is no sane human being that has his mental, that is mentally sound, that can be able, that be talking about political solution when it comes to issue of Biafra. Anything that has to do with an Igbo Biafran, anything that has to do with an Igbo Biafran, you dare not mention political solution. Each time you mention political, you are calling for your death. What political solution means for Nigeria when it comes to Biafra issue is death. Take as many lives as you can. Destroy as many properties as you can. Cage as many people as you can. That is what they mean by their own political solution. You see why no sensible Biafra will be expecting a political solution. Even when they bring it, through it. Even when they talk about it, prepare yourself for war. And I make that to tell you that if you want peace, you must prepare for war. If you want peace, you must prepare for war. That is how the world works. You can continue to pretend, except you're not ready. But I bet you, the Biafran people are ready. We want to go home. We want to go. We are more than ready. We want to go home. We have waited for too long. We have kept silent for too long. We can no longer afford to continue to pretend not to know what is happening. This pretense is enough. It's enough. Wherever you are watching this program from, please, I beg you in the name of Chukwukama, share this program. Let it get across to every Biafran. Share this program so that people of the world will see it and know why we are doing what we are doing. Today is the second day of the sit at home. The second day of sit at home, which is the only solution we have today to our problem. If you want to be free, stand your ground on the sit at home. If you want to be free, don't expect anybody to beg you to sit at home. Our concern is Biafran life. We want to make sure that Biafran life is saved. We want to make sure that our unborn children are saved. We want to make sure that our next generation survives. That is why we are standing our ground today. To speak in a loud voice. And we will continue to speak. It doesn't matter the challenges they bring. It doesn't matter the attack. It doesn't matter the propaganda. We will never, never step back. As you are watching me, I tell you, today being the second day, the blackmail is going to increase. You will see changes. Things are going to change. Sometimes you will see as if the sit at home is collapsing. They are going to pump in different kinds of blackmail and propaganda. But if you're a Biafran in Biafra land, hold your heart. Stay strong. Be steadfast. Don't worry. There is light at the end of the tunnel. We shall overcome them. We have already defeated them in all angles. That is why you see them today crying right, left, and center. They started by throwing to us the Ohanes and Igbo. We defeated them. They threw in the governors. We defeated them. They went to their Senate. We defeated them. Today, they are throwing their last card. Using our supreme leader, Mazen Nandekano. This is the extent they can go. They went to Mazen Nandekano to use Mazen Nandekano to blackmail us. Emotional blackmail. They know how much we love Mazen Nandekano. They know that Mazen Nandekano is the only man that can speak and we hear. They know that very well. And they went and they begin to throw blackmail with Mazen Nandekano. Through a letter that Mazen Nandekano wrote a letter. But you see, Chukwu Okikabama knows what will happen tomorrow. He knows what will happen when it shall happen. That is why Chukwu Okikabama have used our prime minister to tell them, even before now. Before this time, Chukwu Okikabama used our prime minister to tell them that we will not listen to any order from the DSS. We won't listen to any order from them. Until Mazen Nandekano goes to his father's compound in a free word and talk to us. He said it earlier on. Until when they threw this, then our prime minister changed it and told them, until Mazen Nandekano comes to Finland and speak to him face to face, he doesn't want to have communication with anybody. If you like, go and get a video. Video Mazen Nandekano speaking. If even call, he doesn't want to speak Mazen Nandekano on call from Nigeria. That's to show you that we are serious. We're not kidding. Nothing is going to happen to our supreme leader. Everything we are doing today is for his own interest. Every single thing we are doing, every step we are taking today is for the interest of Mazen Nandekano, the interest of Biafran people, to make sure that he's safe. And let me tell you, The only thing that is keeping our supreme leader Mazen Nandekano alive is what you and I are doing. I say it, and I say it with all in me. I say it with all assurance. The only thing that is making Mazen Nandekano still alive today is because of what you are doing, what I'm doing. Because of this sit at home we are doing. And they bet you, it is this same sit at home that will free Mazen Nandekano, whether they like it or not. They have no choice. This sit at home will set Mazen Nandekano free and free Biafra. It will free us in such a way that we will never be answerable to the zoo again. And that is the best thing that can happen to any Biafra. It is not going to be easy. It is going to be a tough move. That is why you have to tighten your belt. We have started the journey yesterday. Today is the second day. And I'm telling you that as you're watching me, Biafra land is under lock and key. As you're watching me, Biafra land is locked down and people are sitting at home. If they like, let them go. I am warning Biafran people, our concern is your life. Our concern is your life. They are going to use you as blackmail if you make yourself available. They will use you. If they can be able to go and use Mazen Nandekano's writing to blackmail us, how much more you? How much more you? Be very, very careful. Be very, very careful. These 2 weeks can change your life forever. These 2 weeks can change your life forever. These very 2 weeks you are watching, it can change your life forever. That is why you must take every single thing that happens serious. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. If you know what you will do in these few 2 weeks, do it. We are not demanding you to go and protest outside. We are not telling you to go and confront the terrorists. We are not telling you to go and commit any crime. What we are saying is that you should sit back in your home. Let the whole world watch and see how aggrieved you are. Show your disapproval to the incarceration of our school Mazen Nandekano. Show your disapproval to the dehumanization of Biafran people and the loss of life in Biafran land. Show to the world that you are ready to go. Show to the world that you are ready for a self-referendum. We are going home, Biafrans. We are going home. It doesn't matter what the enemy is throwing at us. I said, I'm born a sick on Navy. When it is getting tough, that is when you know that you're getting to the end of it. And I tell you, everything you see on this place as rubber has elastic limit. Everything has elastic limit. And when you come to this very struggle today, we have gotten to the elastic limit. No matter how strong a rubber is, when you draw a rubber, it will get to a stage where the rubber can no longer expand. It will break. When you take a rubber, just draw that rubber, draw it. No matter how flexible it is, must get to a stage where the rubber can no longer stand. It will what? It will cut up. Today, we are getting to the elastic limit. And when we go to that stage, the zoo cannot hold us back. They cannot. They cannot. It doesn't matter how they try. It doesn't matter how they try. We have gotten to the end of the road. And there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Are we going to be free? We are absolutely going to be free. No man born of a woman is going to stop the freedom of Biafra in 2023. No man born of a woman can stop it. The only thing you can do for yourself now as a Biafra is to key in. Key in, key in, key in. Stop waiting for anybody to call on you. Stop waiting for anybody to beg you. Begin to ask yourself. Pick a responsibility yourself as a Biafra. Don't wait until Master Simon ever gives order. Do not wait until you are being preached to. Do not wait for Biafra to become an exile. There is something you can do on your own today. Ask yourself, genuinely begin to take up a responsibility. The restoration of Biafra falls on our shoulder. Every child, every mother, every father, every sister, every brother, every uncle. The restoration of Biafra falls on our shoulder. And we must have to stand up and fight it once and for all. Before I go, I have to remind you, pay attention to your environment. If you are watching from Biafra land, be security conscious at all times. Make sure you are security conscious. And always remember whom you are. Do not deny your identity. Do not deny your identity. Anytime you deny yourself, you expose yourself to danger. Anytime you deny yourself as a Biafran, you stand the risk of losing your life. Go and check in the history of Biafran struggle. Everybody that have denied himself, more especially these Igbo Biafrans that are denying, they don't know what they're setting themselves up for. Anytime you deny your Biafranness, you are setting yourself up for that. The earlier you pick up your identity, pick up your responsibility, the better for you. At this time we are in, every one of you know how we survived in 1967 on Rubenwan Nabanonso. Biafrans, we are sharing everything they had together. In this difficult time, in this tough time, whatever you have to share with your neighbor. Share with your neighbor. Anything you have, anything you can lay your hand upon, please share with your neighbor. Wherever you are watching me from, even if you are living abroad, look back home. There are people you are better than. There are still neighbors you can be able to reach out to. Reach out to them in this critical point in time. That is how we survive in the time past. We can do it again. On Rubenwan Naban also. On Rubenwan Naban also. We have to activate it fully. I appreciate every one of you that have joined me on this very platform today. Wherever you are watching this program from, I appreciate you. If you are watching from Biafra land, I pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama will guide you, protect you, keep you until we walk into Biafra in this 2023. Are we going to win this battle? Absolutely yes. We will win the battle. There's no doubt about that. But you have to play your own role to be part of those who are going to win. Do not expose yourself to danger. Do not put yourself in harm's way so that you'll be among those who will raise up the flag. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect every Biafran. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect anyone that is genuinely fighting for freedom, wherever you are fighting from. As long as you're genuinely seeking for freedom, you will see freedom in your lifetime. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect all the members of ESN. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect all our Liberation Army. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect the BNL. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect all our media warriors, all the media that are speaking on behalf of Biafra Republic in exile. Every media partner, may Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect them and secure them. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect the Umuada, every member of the Umuada, our defense minister and the leader of Umuada, Honorable Azuka Charles Wankwo. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect her. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect all the members of the cabinet of Biafra Republic in exile. We commit them in the hand of Chukwu Okike Abiama for divine grace, for divine wisdom, knowledge and understanding and strength to fight on until we get into Biafra. We present our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, before Chukwu Okike Abiama. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect him. Continue to secure him. Continue to give him wisdom, knowledge, understanding, 1,000 men wisdom. May it be upon him. No weapon formed or fashioned against him shall prosper. He will never dash his foot against a stone. Every ambush that is laid against him will never succeed. Whatever hole they have dug for him, they will fall into it. We present our Supreme Leader Mazen Nandekano before Chukwu Okike Abiama for divine protection. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect our Supreme Leader Mazen Nandekano wherever he is. We decree that Chukwu Okike Abiama will send doctors spiritually to begin to minister to Mazen Nandekano. Every poison they have injected in his body, every attack against his life, every attack against his soul will never ever succeed. Mazen Nandekano will grow old in our midst. We will celebrate him as a hero, and he's going to grow old. We will celebrate him, and he will raise the flag of Biafra for us in 2023. No matter what they plan, they will never succeed. No weapon formed or fashioned against the Biafran people shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Supreme Leader Mazen Nandekano shall prosper. I appreciate every one of you that have joined me on this program. I will be back in the evening on King David Exploit Expose. Follow me on my page on Facebook. I'm going to be there this evening in King David Exploit Expose to continue on this very program to speak to Biafran people and encourage Biafran people on the way forward. We are winning. Today is the second day, and today we are going to have much more progress than we have ever had. No matter what you see, no matter what you hear, no matter the propaganda, please don't get distracted. Will there be distraction? There will be distraction. There will be propaganda. It has not finished. You know the enemy we are up against, the Pharaoh, will never leave us go. They will never let us go. They will never go without a fight. So, my fellow Biafrans, pay attention to every information that you get. If you are not following Master Simon on Twitter, I beg you in the name of Chukwu Karima, go and follow Master Simon on Twitter. Go and follow him on Twitter. Follow all the platform of Biafra Republic Government in Exile. Every platform that broadcasts the message of Biafra Republic Government in Exile, please follow them so that you'll be updated. You will know what is going on. Information is key. Information is power. As long as you key in into the information, follow Master Simon Ever, let me tell you, the sky is just the beginning for you. We are going to go home, whether I like it or not. Thank you so much for watching, and stay blessed. See you again in the evening. Bye.